Hello, Robert. Hello, everybody else. I forgot your first. How do you say your first name there? B16J? Jard, right. All right. How you doing, Jard? We all get the PDFs? Bass drum development. Now, Robert, you've had this. It's also in the stick control, the workbook. A Jard. Right, I forgot Jard. That's okay. Now, Robert, some of this stuff that we're doing, except for the end of the PDFs I sent you, are a few excerpts from the Mike Clark Funk book. Okay? What's this? Hey, Jimmy, thank you. How are you, Jim? Hey, Jim, let me ask you a question in front of everybody. Why did you send me 20 bucks? And besides, that was really nice of you. Everybody get the... Okay, we'll see you tonight at 7 then. Jimmy, you sent all those books. Thank you. Robert, did you get the Jim Chapin book and the New Breed? Jimmy, why did you send me $20? I'm confused. I mean, you know, hey, Paul. I mean, if you just want to give money, you could send more. I don't care. Something you saw on Facebook. All right. Well, thank you. If you want to send some more, that's okay, as much as you can. Just kidding. It just confused me. Okay, so you have the New Breed, you have the Jim Chapin book, and you have today's PDFs. Now, I guess we're waiting on Stacy. You got the Jim Chapin book. It's not the PDFs. Jard, here's what you want to do. You want to print everything out, go to Staples and put it in a binder. Well, the PDFs that I sent in the beginning of the PDF sheets, they're actually all in the stick control book formulas. We already know how to play them. They're simple. But I just thought I'd start the lesson with them today until we get into some sounds like, you know, with the hi-hat slurping, they call it, you know. Stuff like that. All right, so let's start, okay? First one, number 1, bass drum development. It's simple. You get this from the Gary Chaffee book. You have it in the stick control book formulas. You have it in, not the stick control book formulas, you have it in the workbook. They're ostinato patterns. It's just what he's showing you here is how to maneuver the bass drum. You get a different sound. Now I'm playing this pattern on the hi-hat. Down, up, 1 E and the 2 E, and we already know that. To get that musical sound, not pounding like that. We have 1, 2, 3, 4. Backbeat on 2 and 4. Bass drum. Simple. Hey, Seth. The first one is really simple. Actually, they're all simple. You should blow right through these guys. From, you know, the guys who've been here for a while should blow right through these. Number 1. One E and the 2 E and 3 E and the 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. Line 2. 1 and You want to put a backbeat. I missed a note there on the count of 4. On the count of 4, just put the backbeat. That's on number 2. 1, 2. I missed it actually on 2 and 4. Chafee. So everybody put it there, okay? Hey, Jard, I was waiting for you to Skype last night. Okay, number 4. 1. Now you guys want to get into the new breed. Here's the deal, okay? You learn how to play these things from the Gary Chafee book, counting them. Let's go to the next level. And what is that next level? Okay? I'm counting it. Now let's not count it. The bass drum part, that is. Let's hum the bass drum part as if it were the bass player. Now that's going to take a little time. And that's what the basic foundation is for the new breed. It's going to change your whole concept. But you went through, you just went through the whole thing with counting and all that. So we're taking it to the next level. For example, the first guy is simple. 1. Bop. Now, instead of counting 1 eanda, 2 eanda, 3 eanda, 4 eanda, try to play it while you're playing it. Hum the bass drum part. 1, 2. Get it? Hoist. I'm glad that you made today's lesson because you're the only guy on the site or on this platform that has requested the new breed. Okay, so what we're doing, we're taking the PDFs to a different level. All right, we already know how to play these. We've done them in the workbook, the Chafee book, the stick control book, and we counted them. Now what you want to do, you want to lay back. You're going to have to get used to it. You're going to fall down, and I don't want you to get hurt. So I'm just doing this. I'm playing a pattern. So if I count it, 1, 2, 3, 4, boom, Do you understand that concept, gentlemen? Hoist. The new breed is coming to you. This is just a prerequisite. Number 2. Instead of going 1E and the 2E and 3E and the 4, 1E and you're counting. Now hum it. You understand, right, Paul? How about you, Hoist? Robert, Seth, Jard? Do we understand instead of counting? I mean, if you need to count for a while, count. But eventually change the counting to humming. Well, I'm thinking about it. I want to do this right now. and this is for a couple guys who requested this through email. When we did the table of time, the groupings of 5, they still having problems getting it in between the quarter note equally. So what I would suggest, say turn the metronome on 60 and just do 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Now the bass drum. Started at 60, each tick is a count. What is this, Robert? You understand that. Jimmy understands it. Stjard understands it. Hoist, are you still there? Hey guys, if I get booted, the computer's acting up again. I'll be back in about 5 minutes or 10 minutes, okay? But I should not get booted. Now, do we understand? You know, count instead of counting, to hum the pattern. And what I want to introduce you to today, some exercises to develop the funk. You know, like this. I'm going 1 E and I open it up and I close it on the duh. Let me slow that down. I'm going 1 E, 1, 1 E and duh. You keep that going and humming the part. Well, I don't know, Hoist. I don't know who you are and how long you actually been playing, but if you understand, that's great, man. So instead of counting, we're going to go directly to funk drumming part 1. Some figures I like for you to feel. Now all you're doing with the hi-hat or the right hand, you can do this either on the hi-hat or the ride cymbal. But I'm just going to do number 1, but there's the figure I want to do over and over again. Just the first downbeat, like 1 E and, like 1 E and 2. Now you see what I did? I played the first downbeat. I'll do it slow. 1 E and the. 2 E and that. 1 E and the. 2. Now being that the E and, you're doing your snare drum. 1 E and 2. Let's turn that into a formula, okay, from stick control book. Let's make the R equal E and the left equal E and on the snare. So the first one would be 1 E and. Then the left will be 2 E and. No accent. Try to make them as ghost as you possibly can. You guys understand that exercise? 1 E and, 2 E and. It's a formula. R is equal to E and with the bass drum. 1 E and. Snare drum, 1 E and. So if I have all rights, it would be 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4. 1 E and, 2 E, 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and. We get that? Need some response. This is going to lead you into Mike Clark's funk drumming. Do we understand that? The E and is, if I'm referencing off the stick control book, all the R's become the E and the lefts with the bass drum, and the lefts become the E and on the snare drum. So if I did it without the hi-hat, bass drum, snare drum, line 1, 1 E and 2 E and 3, 4, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1, 2, 3, 4 E and. Seth, you understand? Jar, you got it? So you're doing a formula. So stay on line 1 for a while. You feel good with line 1. You can skip line 2 because it's just the reverse. But if you want to do line 2, do it. Then go to line 3. But then add the right hand. You're going 1 E and, right? So you got 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and. Get comfortable with that. You go to line 3, you have the bass drum twice and the snare drum twice. 1 E and, 2 E and, 3 E and, 4 E and, 1 E and. So on and so forth. But try to make the snare drum ghost. You know, we don't want it 1 E and. We want nice and musical. 1 E and. So when you plow the downbeat, it emphasizes better. So you have 1 E and 2. This line 3 will be 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and. I don't have to write that out, do I, gentlemen? If so, I will. Do I need to write that out for you? What happened? Who else you got it, Paul, Seth? Robert, you have it? Jard, do I need to write it out for you? Send you a sheet as an example. It's a different formula. And I always follow the stick control book sequence because he has it scientifically outlined that it strengthens the right and the left. In this case, the right's the right foot, the bass drum, and the L is the snare drum. All right, thank you. It's a very simple process. Now, you look at number 2, the downbeat. Now you have 2 E and da. So you want to work with that one. You don't want to use the bass drum on this. You want to just keep doing it over and over again. So you're going to put a downbeat on the 2. I mean a backbeat rather. 2 E and da. And the third beat, in the third downbeat, you have 1 E, 1 E and. Stick control. See how I ghost note the snare drum? I kind of balance everything out. The snare drum, the hi-hat, and the bass drum. And the 4 is just the paradiddle. So if I did it with R, you would say R would equal the bass drum. L would equal line 3, 1 E and 2. You get the concept? An example would be nice if I wrote it out. All right, I'll write out a few as exercises. Now, if you look at number 2, it's the same thing as we just did. 1. Okay? And then you have the inverted paradiddle for number 2. Take each downbeat and just play it over and over and over again. This is only a one measure phrase. Eventually we're going to get into two measure phrases. So this is more like a prerequisite. See, so if I did say, for example, line 1, slow, 1 E and 2 E and 3 E and 4 E and 1. Again. My left hand. All right, I'll send a few examples out. I can't guarantee you're going to get them tonight, but you will get them sometime, okay? Now you look at number 3. Now this time, 1 E and 2 E and 3. On the da, you have a slurp or a slur, whatever you. I don't know what you want to call it. 1 E and you got 1 E and When you're on the da, you're opening up the hi-hat. 1 E and that's too much. It's hard to demonstrate this slow. 1 E and da. Let me try the da. Da, da. That's the way I could play it. 1. 1. Actually, it's so you get that slurp in there. I don't really particularly like that. Okay? Let's go to line 4. Again, you have the same premise here. But this time the accent shifted to the and on the snare drum. 1 E and 1 E and 2 E and You get it? 1 E and 2 E and 3 E pop. So we're taking each downbeat by itself and trying to work it out. If you go to the number 5, look at the second downbeat. I'm opening the cymbal, opening, close. Actually, let's do the first downbeat. 1 E, you got 1 E. It's hard to, you're actually hitting the hi-hat when it's opening. You got to force that closing of the hi-hat somewhere in there. You can't feel that. You got to command that. 1. That's difficult to explain and to teach. Any questions so far? You understand it? It's a good book. There's some really nice stuff. I like to do. Hear that slurping there? And 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 1. You got to feel that. So what I would suggest you doing, they're hard to work out, like 1 E and There's a lot of, it's not funky, it's insane. So we're going to hit this again tonight at 7 o'clock. And I will write that out for you, Hoist. Do you want that? As R equals the E and with the bass drum, L equals the E and with the snare drum, correct? And then I'll give you a couple other formulas. I'm not going to give them all to you. It's a lot of work, a lot of writing, and a lot of time. I don't mind, but you know, I have things I need to do as well. You know, I have students that still come here. I do a lot of Skype lessons, you know. Robert, you understand everything? Paul, Hoist, Seth, Jard, Jimmy? I'll try. I can't, like, tell you when exactly I'm going to send them, but I will. It's a formula. You have this, you could add it to the stick control book formulas, print it out, put a clip on it. When you get an abundance of different formulas, I'll write it out as, formula number 46 to extend on your book. Is that okay with you, Hoist? Seth, Paul, Robert, Jard, okay. I'll send it to you guys. But those things you need to get slow, and you got to get used to that slurp. It's hard to do that, okay? When you're teaching it, it's hard to say, you open it up just before the 3, okay? So you go 1E and the 2E and, then you go and 3, and 3. So that and is almost like a 30-second note. So it's hard to definitely explain it. But, by you playing it, for example, hear that? 3 and 4 and 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. So work it out like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. And play it on the 1 and 3. 1 and 2, 3 and 4. 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4. Next time Mike Clark does a lesson here, I'm going to ask him to play some of this stuff. I know that, there's a tremendous amount of books out there. All right, that's good, Robert. There's a tremendous amount of books out there, and there's some very good information, some great information, and some of the things are extremely difficult. And you ask the author to play it, most of them can't. They just edit it so they fill up a page. Not in this case, though. It has its assets, and we're going to take it and we're going to work the assets. Now, another thing as well, if I'm playing, for example, 1, 2, 3, 4, I'm playing straight 8th notes. Let's bring that to the hi-hat by itself. Again, the forgotten foot, 1E and the 2, and 3 and 4, and 1 and 2, and that takes this place. So there's a lot we're going to start expanding upon, and I need some time to practice, man. This stuff is not easy. Trust me. 1 and 2 and 3. Here's an exercise. I'll write it out. You can do in a stick control book. All right? Take line 1 of the stick control book and think of line 1 instead of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and think of it as 1E and a 2E and a 4E and a, okay? You're going to eliminate the left, so that's going to give you 1E and 2, right? So you're going to play, instead of on the snare drum, 1E and 2E and 3E and 4 with the hi-hat. You got 1E and they're almost harmonic. 3 and 4 and 1E and 2. The same concept to line 2. 3, 4, 1E and 2E and that's what you're playing. 1E and 2E and 1E and 2E and E and that I will write out as a formula. Number 3. That's 1E and that's constantly on 8th notes. That's line 3. Line 4. 1E and 2. Actually, all you need is the left hand on 2 and 4. Do line 5. E and 2. 1. It's a place that it's not so much you can't play it, it's the way you were thinking about it, and I will write them out for you. Okay? Give me a couple days on it. Well, yeah, it's all from the stick control book. It's all paradiddles. Anything you're actually playing is some sort of inverted paradiddle, partial. Everything is right, left, right, left, right, left, left. And when you say it sounds like a paradiddle, that's what I was doing, line 5. 1E and the 2E and 3E and the 4. Now to play the bass drum, I'm interpreting the pages 1E and the 2E and 3E and the 4E and the. You got 1E and a 2E and 3E and a 4E and 1E and a 2E and 3E and a 4E and. Line 7, 1E and a 2 and. It's on the and. I can't remember all of them. It's difficult. And as you can see, it's also difficult to talk while you're trying to demonstrate. It takes a lot of coordination. Hey Seth, did the 5s help you out? Everybody have any questions on the 5s? From the table of time? Like I said, I'm going to finish up with the 5s. What you're going to do is you're going to set your metronome. Okay? Say 50, 60, whatever you feel good with. If your metronome's going like this, that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's making, okay, the 5s equal distant to the bass drum. The bass drum is going to be on the count of 1. All right? The 5, 1. Some guys want to sit there and play it like that. They can't make that transition from this. From the 4s to the 5s or to the 6s. So you work on the 5s. 1, 2, 3, 4. That bass drum. The metronome is going tick, 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 tick. Do that for 10 minutes and then up the metronome. Do the same thing with the 7s. And then you're going to find the only thing that's going to give you problems, it's not that it's a problem, it's going to feel odd, is the 11s. We all need to practice. Now maybe tonight I'll hit on a little odd time signatures, odd to even, and we'll explain the quarter note. Are there any math teachers or brilliant mathematicians on this site right now? Any mathematicians? Paul, don't you teach math? Anyway, well, you're going to find my next statement is going to be very out of the box. But whether you're playing in 4/4, 3/16, 5/4, 9/8, or whatever time signature you're playing in, they're all related to the pulse of the quarter note. Example, 5/8. 2 measures of 5/8 is equal to 10/8. Reduce that is equal to 5/4. Well, as long as you teach school English in school, I need you, Paul. You want to write some resumes for me? Just kidding. No, I'm not. That's right. 2 plus 2 is 5. You're the man, the mathematician. You know, one time I had this particular student. He was a philosophy major at Rutgers University. They talk about out of the box. And I could never understand this till recently. The highest form of emotion is mathematical. Now that really sounds out of the box. And that always stayed with me. I always thought about it, okay? Until one day it hit me, and he was right. And I can't explain it, and it's not 2 plus 2 equals 5 either. It's a very weird kind of understanding, but you will understand. The highest form of emotion is mathematical, and that's pretty deep. And I could sit here and do a lecture for 3 hours talking to you about it. I'm not going to talk to you about that. I don't have, number one, 3 hours. Number two, I don't want you to walk away confused. You have to find something like that statement on your own. Ask a question occasionally, yeah, no problem. And no, I'm not weird. Are you laughing at what I just said about the highest form of emotion is mathematical, Paul? We're going to continue with some of the Mike Clark stuff. Where did it go? There you go. Paul, what were you laughing at? 2 plus 2 is equal to 5? Tell me, Paul, what are you laughing at? Don't forget, next week, drum pad. Paul, you're going to tell me? You heard that. So you're not... Oh, okay. But you did hear that, right? So I'm not the only wacko. Huh. But it's the truth. You'll find out. It's the highest form of emotion is mathematical. And playing music is entirely mathematical. And that feel is interjected into the music. So therefore, the feel is from you. Your feeling, your emotion. And that's mathematical. Okay, guys, I'm going to sign off until tonight, 7 p.m. Any questions? Now, give me a chance to write these exercises out. Okay? And Jar, tonight sometime, please contact me. I'd like to talk to you on Skype, okay? So we're going to close it up. Unless there's any questions. Any questions? Plato said that. Thank you, Jard. Thank you for the compliment. I don't know. I read Plato 1,000 years ago, and I thought he was wacky. Descartes, Aristotle, all those insane guys. I think they were eating mushrooms, man. I don't know. But if Plato said that, you know, it has some substance, and it should have your curiosity up to do some research on it. And the reason why I did ask for mathematicians is if anybody is familiar with the laws of probability, you know, computations and permutations, and the laws of physics, the weights and measures. Thank you, Paul. Okay, guys. Need to have some lunch and do 2 students until 7 p.m. Gentlemen, have a great day. I'll see everybody tonight, 7 p.m.